Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Flovine from CZT Lin Chiu. And as I was reading, Flovine stands for flower vine, and it's a really, really neat tangle. And I think what fascinates me more about this one is how it's constructed. Just really, really neat. Okay, so it starts off with, I'm going to go on the diagonal, obviously, some straight lines. So you know how sometimes, and it seems like more often than not, we'll start a tangle and we'll do like orbs, in whatever direction that your line goes. This one is dashed lines, and I'm going to start it right at the edge, and I'm going to try to separate them a little more than I did before, because I was noticing something on, there we go, right to the end, on Lin's samples, and I thought, well, let's just oh, why play on my own when I can play here? And so we'll try it. Okay, and then the other interesting thing is I seem to be on this path of giant S shapes, and that's what our next step is. I don't know, we've had, what, 3, I think, in the last week or so that started off with a continuous S pattern. This one starts off with the dashes, and then has this, we're going to wind this continuous S through these, but there is a little trick. And let me get this just right here. So I'm going to start at the top of this one and swing out. And then what we want to do is we're going to touch this one, swing out, touch the next one, swing out from here. And so we're just touching. And then that one we'll pretend to continue that one on. Okay, so that's what's neat. And so always, as like I said, as we're swinging this to and fro, we're touching the tops of the dashed lines that we created. Okay, then next we're going to do another curve line coming from the bottom, excuse me, and working on the opposite side. This one is just going to float. So this, and coming up. I'm like, did I get that on the right side? I did get that on the correct side. Okay. And then this one here. And so alternating. So it's going to be on the side where there's not a curve. So going opposite. And this one very carefully. Okay. Next, okay, these lines that are, it's still kind of open, right? It's not, it's connected upwards, but we have this gap here. So from those, the same spots that we just started those curve lines, we're going to make, it's kind of an S. We're going to kind of aura this. So we're going to come from here all the way down to here. And, and this is where, hold on a second. See, now this is where I'm looking at. Okay, let me just do it the way I have been doing it. So just from this line, and then, continuing, and then tapering, like so, right into there. So here's why I paused. Because if you look at the samples, and those links, go to the description section of the video, click on where it says for more inspiration from the creator of the tangle, click on that link, and then scroll down to look at Lin's samples. And this part, it looks more, there's more flow to it. So maybe play with, like taking this line and then maybe adding a curve to it versus mine is kind of coming straight off of here. I don't know. I'm going to have to take a peek more at Some of these you just kind of look and you're just like, look, and you look. Or I should say me. I just look and I'm like, wait a minute, I just can't seem to quite grasp what they're doing there. Okay, so again, so this line, and this one you can alternate back and forth if you wish, or just do one side, then do the other side. So coming from, I feel like I'm doing that the wrong way, but no, that's right. From here, and merging it in. And from here, you know, this is one of those whatever happens, happens. And like that. And let's see, if we were doing this up here, nope, that would just be the way it is. Yeah, because see, it leaves these those little bumps there. It still looks rather neat. But like I said, there's just some, it seems like there's some extra twistiness going on in the samples. And sometimes, you know, as you notice, in the samples, you know, the creator of the Tangle does some extra creating, and it's really cool, but it's like, oh, I want to figure out how that's done. And as I'm looking again, I think, okay, so some of them, besides having the dashes, maybe having more separation, but then not going so, I was doing some real, you know, S shapes. And maybe have the S shapes be a little, keeping it narrower to the dash line. That could work. But you know what? Either way, it turns out really, really cool. So, and let's see. Then the next step that she shows is essentially decorating. And that's going to take place in these little gaps here. So what she's done is, let's see. It's like kind of making this the center. So partway there. So like a 3 C-shaped curve lines in a row. And I find it easier. And then she has some little dots in there, which is just really super cute. But then two also, and some little lines. Let's see, then, excuse me, we would go to here. But, you know, there are some other ideas that she has there. So whatever you want to do, it's going to be fine. And let's see, this one would just be a little partial, so that's all you get right there. And then we'll flip it over. And then one right here. Yeah, and that's it. And then, well, in some of, let's see, some of the samples, oh no, well, she doesn't have in the step out, which is fine. But in some of them, let's see, it looks like, oh, like there's an aura, and that is neat. I like aura-ing just seems to finish things off, and let's just do that because it looks cool. As I was peeking, I'm like, oh, it looks like there's a couple different ways. On one pattern, she just did this, but I mean, this was different. And on the one where or is this, it looks like maybe there's some stop and go. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm apparently in an analysis mode. All right. Okay. Look at if you look at the sides, or just look at what's up, that versus, it's different. It depends on what you like. They both look neat, but there's just something about when we aura that whole section. So fun. Okay. And then let's play with some shading. And you can always do more than one aura if you wish. Completely up to you. You could have you could have fun actually with some pen strokes, like hatching or something, if you wanted to add with the pen, kind of like what we've done here. you know, and just to add some shading with the pen if you like. All right, so let's see. So I'm looking for where things kind of tuck under, and here for sure, right, looks like. So let's put some graphite here. Here. And yes. No, that is that. Okay. All right. And let's see what we get with this, and then we'll go from there. You know, you might have some other ideas. I always like to make sure to make sure that you understand that, you know, sometimes it's just, I'm just guessing what I think looks good. And, you know, and it's like, okay, and well, this little bit is tucked. Okay, I didn't need to turn it all the way around, did I? Well, maybe I did. I don't know why. I could, because this looks like it's kind of tucked here. See, we have that line. What to do with that line? What to do with that line? I'm saying we don't worry about it. Let's just put some, we'll continue this graphite up or down. And the nice thing, oh, and I guess I could have done this here. One advantage to doing things kind of in stages is that you can pause and go, well, now wait a minute. Let's see how this looks. Versus, you know, having graphite remorse, and you put graphite, you know, in a whole bunch of places, and that's like, oh, well, you know, we don't want that. Oops. Oops. Oh, and this, let's see, I guess I need to, I kept looking at this, I'm thinking something is missing here. So if we had continued, and you know what, and if you like to do this as well and get stuck like I sometimes do, what I do and what I'm doing now is like, okay, this part is this part, and so, oh, there would be that line there. Just so it looks like it's continuing off the page. All right, and sort of. Yeah. We'll just leave it like that. All right, and I think I kind of like that. Now, this we could darken just a little bit. All right. Still needs something. Number one, well, and I think it's my light here. Number one, I'm thinking a darker, more dramatic. And then I'm trying to keep the extra graphite I just put in on that, oh, see, look at that, right on that edge, and not bringing it out this way. So it's more of a kind of a back and forth motion. I still want to create a, you know, the gradient and have it blend in so you don't see that line so much. I like it. Let's see. You know, and it gives a nice wavy in and out type of thing. And that's what I was looking for. Although it still feels like it needs something else. I just don't know what quite yet. Although it could just have a little bit of rounding, you know, this, yeah. To add just some rounding of that side. And I'm just using what's left on the Tortillion because it's a good idea to do that every so often. Yes. That seemed to help. Like it. Well, if you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you have, would love it if you click on the like button And if you liked it enough to see more, and I'm getting a different idea here because sometimes just having a little contrast. Let's do this. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I'm just going to do a little rounding right here in this, well, or I'm just going to add a little ball. Just depends. Yeah, that it did something. I like it. So again, if you liked enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the site. In the description section, I mentioned links to the step outs. Besides that are ways to connect with me if you wish. So below those links, you will find my Linktree link there, or all the links to me, social media. So you could go to my website, follow my blog, which I pretty much just post a daily tangle, which is what this will be, and recaps to the classes and sessions that I do. And that's about it right now. And then if you want to follow me on Facebook, and then there's some other links there for other places I post classes if you're interested. Most of the classes I do are free. And those are generally on Thursdays. There is one on the third Tuesday of the month. It's called Tough Tangle Tuesday. But other than that, on Thursdays, they're always free. I do 2 sessions on Thursday, and we do the same content. We just have, for those that, because we have a lot of people that will come to both sessions, and we just have a lot of fun. We might take something like this and just explore it. You can, I do have some playlists. If you click on my picture or my name underneath the video, that'll take you to what I call the home page of the channel. And there you can find the playlists. I do have a playlist that's called Class Replays. So you can explore that. I always put, well, I don't always, I'm working on, I have intention to put every single one up there. And someday I'll get caught up on those. But you'll see that you'll get the flavor for what we do, and we just have a lot of fun while we tangle. So come and join us. Let's see. And I said the other classes I have are on Tuesdays, and the other ones are either have a fee or it's exclusive to my club members. And so I do have like a subscription club type thing. Information, you can see the link on the Linktree. And what else? I think that's it. So with that, thank you again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.